What up, what up, what up? This is Mike the Philosopher here with another one. This is Divorce Court, okay? Thought I'd check this out, cover this. I'm not going to hold you. Let's just go in.
Holmes versus Holmes.
Thank you very much. Mrs. Holmes, you've come to court today because you say you're at your wit's end. You say your husband's disrespect toward you and your marriage has you questioning whether or not you'll be seeing your second wedding anniversary.
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Holmes, you admit that your marriage has hit rock bottom, but state that your wife is as much to blame as you for the demise of your relationship.
Yes, Your Honor.
So I cannot figure out for the life of me, y'all have been together for 5 years, but only married for a year and a half. You have one child together, and yet you say it's gone to hell.
Yes, Your Honor.
Miss Holmes, why are we here today?
Your Honor, my husband is a liar, a cheater, a deceiver. I feel like I married my enemy, and I'm done.
Uh-oh, it's called Tag You're It, Mr. Holmes, because Miss Holmes is making out the case that there's nothing left. What do you say, sir?
Well, I'm not a liar, and I'm definitely not a cheater, and I'm not her enemy. But the things that has happened over the course of times has just been things that has happened equally, and I don't do well with mistreatment. That's what's happening.
So I'm trying to figure this out. Y'all were together for 5 years. You've only been married for a year and a half. How did it go so bad so quickly, Mrs. Holmes?
Well, what I noticed is that I'm gonna let her talk, but what I noticed is that sometimes when people get married, their mentality change. Okay? All of a sudden, entitlements burst out of nowhere from the men, from the women. I'm the man, you supposed to cook, you supposed to clean, this, that, and the third. I'm the woman, you supposed to do this, you supposed to do that, you supposed to pay the bills, this, that, and the third. An explosion of entitlements just happened out of nowhere. It's a weird thing. And when you had the threat of the relationship ending, you had some act right. That's why you stayed together longer when you were just dating, because you didn't want to leave without nothing. You couldn't leave without nothing. So you dealt with it. But once the marriage happens, entitlements happen, and then the divorce happens and one party benefits from it, and then it's safe to leave now. Okay, it's safe to leave now because you're going to walk away with more benefits, or marriage does something quirky to people. It really does. Anyway, let's go back in.
I want to say it all started about a year ago, the deception, about a year ago. I went through his telephone one day. I was downloading a app.
So you were not snooping to be snooping?
No, we were downloading an app where we were playing a game together.
Oh, okay.
So as I'm downloading the app, I see another, like a fake text app on his phone.
What's a fake text app?
Like an app where you can get a new number.
Oh,
So-
where you mask your number?
Yeah, you can mask your number and you can give your number out as a unknown number. So I see that he had deleted the app, but it was a recent date, So I go to download the app, re-download the app, and say, hey, what's going on here? Let me see what he's been doing. When I re-download the app, I see about 4 different text messages between women, and they're exchanging words, and he's trying to, assumingly, what I seen, pay for sex.
So now I turn to you, Mr. Holmes.
Okay, ma'am, it was only 2, and what happened is we had an argument prior to that, and
That's no
I
excuse.
drove off, and I was just not feeling the whole situation, so what I did was download the app, because when I was calling her, she wasn't answering my phone call. So I originally
go
downloaded the app just so
try to
she
be with
could pick
another
up
woman.
the phone when I called her. But as I
Wait a
did
minute.
that-
Oh.
So here's how I understand it. We have a mini breakup. Okay, you're not answering my calls. I'm thinking we broke up. I download the app. I start hollering at other chicks. Was it right? Arguably. I would say it wasn't, because you do have to give relationships a cool off period. he didn't give the relationship that cool off period to say, okay, we are officially done. So, you know, now it's time to act. But sometimes, you know, people react to things differently. I'm not going to give them no out here because, especially if you're married, there is no, we broke up. Okay. You don't download the app. If you're married, you're married, and you gotta move like that no matter what happens. Now, should she be ignoring him and not picking up his calls? No, she has some liability in that too. But for the guy, he shouldn't have downloaded the app. But let's go back in.
Oh, you downloaded the app so that it would mask your number so that she wouldn't know it was you calling.
I downloaded the app because she wasn't picking up for my original phone number.
I understand
so
that.
I just wanted to call her so she could pick
He
up the phone.
downloaded the app
period.
because he's a cheater.
No, I'm not a cheater. What happened is I downloaded the app and it was already something on there that was just something like an email or whatnot that I responded
Sounds
to.
like a-
No,
Lies.
that's not how it happens.
So
No, wait 1 second,
What
Ms.
is
Holmes.
the app, first of all?
When you download an app, the only information that is on there is from the developers once you download it. That's it. That's the only thing that's on there. You have to put something on there yourself.
I never looked at anything, and to say if I did, my reason behind that is because I was trying to figure out where to love at. So I
Okay,
was
Mr.
gonna
Holmes,
play
let
with
me
her.
stop you for 1 second
Please
right
do.
here.
Please do.
Because what's not gonna happen is you not gonna BS me. Because that don't work in my courtroom.
No, I'm not-
No, sir. No, Nope, I don't know how it work in your home,
He's
but this is my
disrespectful.
home. This is how this works. You don't get to use the double defense. I'm a former prosecutor, so I know how that works. Defense attorneys would say to me, I didn't kill that man, but if I did, he deserved it. No, that's the double defense. So, Mr. Holmes, did you download the app and start soliciting women? That's either you can say yes, no, or I'm not gonna tell you.
No,
You did not.
not to solicit women. I did
Lie.
not.
I didn't say to solicit women, I said and solicited women. I'm really good at my words, you know
I
that.
did not do that.
So you did
do
not solicit women from that app?
that. No, ma'am.
Mrs. Holmes, what were you?
Let me just say this. I don't believe him. So all the ladies out there who say, "Oh, he lying," I'm with y'all. I'm rocking with y'all. Okay, I'm on y'all team on this one. The brother's lying. I think he was soliciting some women. But anyway, let's go in.
You gonna say?
So, I seen the app was downloaded. I allowed myself to calm down for a few moments because I did not want to jump the gun. So, he was laying down peacefully. I go to him and I'm like, hey, what is this? I wasn't aggressive. Didn't seem upset. I was just asking him a question because I wanted him to be honest. If it was something going on, okay, let's talk about it. He gets up, storms away from me, walks away. He brushes me off. He don't gotta talk about nothing. This looks like cheating to me. So an hour go by. I'm heated. Then he finally tells me, oh, well, I did that this day, we got into it, and you wasn't answering the phone for me, and I really didn't even reach out to anyone. I was just doing it because I was gonna take a screenshot and come back and show you just to see if you really cared. Really?
Mr. Holmes?
All that is absolutely true. I did do that just for those reasons, to see if she cared. I did blow up, and I did. But the reason is, like you said earlier, is because she does go
'Cause you're a
around
cheater.
snooping on my phone all the time. Every time I look up, she got my phone doing this and doing that. Can't do the same with hers. Can't even look at the time on her phone. But she can get my phone and do whatever she want to do. So I was initially mad because you are always doing so. I'm asleep, I wake up, you got my phone. And behind something that I had already said no to on my own.
What do you like about your wife?
She's funny, she's fun. We really can do everything together. I found somebody who I can do every single thing from day to day with. I don't need another person to live my life with.
Do you like him?
I find it real odd that she's so, I don't know, she just seems so hardcore. And I got to hear more, because if it's just about an app, that's not making much sense as to why she detests this guy so much. Oftentimes, I find that when a spouse want to look at your phone, but you can't look at their phone, I find that suspicious. Okay? Oftentimes when people accuse other people of cheating, they the ones who cheating. Why can't he look at her phone? Now I'm looking at her, like, and you detest this guy so much, and you're ready for it to be done. I'm starting to get suspicious of her. Now, I haven't seen this before, so I don't know how the outcome is gonna turn out. All I'm saying is she's starting to look a little suspicious to me. He not out of the woods either, okay? Downloading the app was not a good idea, but at the same time, why can't he look at her phone? And why is she so done with him? She got to come better than this, him downloading this app. Let's go in.
What had happened in your relationship that had gone from we just got married and are in bliss?
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but like I've told many people.
On top of I had just gave birth.
Right, and she has been saying that postpartum stuff for a while. I understand, but I'm not too big on thinking every single attitude, every single word that you say to me is put on
How
your
many
postpartum.
months
I
after
just
you
don't believe all
got
that.
how many months after you got married did you give birth?
We got married in about 3 months after we got married.
So sometime between December and April is when you all had this blow up, this argument.
Correct.
Yes, ma'am.
Y'all couldn't find enough joy and happiness to, for the first 3 months of the baby's life, be able to figure it out?
Yeah, I wanted to, but the postpartum stuff, she was doing all that before she was even pregnant. Nothing really changed. The only thing changed is that she had something to blame all her bad attitudes on, postpartum. Every single thing she did before then, postpartum, and now is the
He
exact
really
same.
doesn't care too much about the baby or the responsibilities anyway, because
true.
not long ago, he left and went to Georgia for a whole month, up and left.
Mr. Holmes, did you leave your family for a month?
Ma'am, I left because she told me that she don't need me around. Leave, get away from me. I don't give a F. Get on, get out of here, get away. I don't want you around me. Stop bothering me, get away from me. I'm hearing all that. So if you
So you're
consistently
telling me
to
she
leave,
threw you out?
Incorrect.
That wasn't even the first time. I've been
Incorrect.
thrown out
So
plenty
what
of times.
happened was,
Plenty of
I
times.
just want to make sure I'm clear. You
That's
left
not
your
what
family
happened.
for a month, and your story is it's because she told you to get out.
Well, my whole thing is this. If she told him to get out, I don't need you, you ain't nothing, you don't have the right to complain about him leaving after that. Okay? If he left a week, 2 weeks, a month, you said he wasn't nothing. You said leave. You kicked him out. He said he'd been kicked out a couple times. If you initiate something, you don't have the right to complain about the same thing. That's like saying, oh, well, you don't never cook or whatever. You a horrible cook. And then the wife stopped cooking. And then you say, well, she don't never cook. No. Well, you don't like what I cook anyway. She could say, you don't like what I cook anyway. Why would I cook if you don't like it? You don't have a right to complain about something. You don't have the right to double complain about something. Like Judge Starr said, you can't do a double defense. And it seems like that's what the wife is trying to do right now. She's trying to call him no good. He ain't nothing. Get out, kick him out, and then get mad when he's kicked out. That's ridiculous to me. Anyway, let's go in.
And that's not what
I just want to know.
It was time for me to leave because it was either I leave or things get worse. And I have already
So
tried as much
again,
as I
I'll go
could.
back to my original question. You left your family for a month.
I left, but it wasn't for a month. It became a month. It wasn't a plan to leave for a month.
He's
That's
a
true, though.
joke.
I'm
He's
not
an
a joke.
absolute joke.
I left.
So what happened was we did get into a argument. I was trying to come up with an agreement of how we can be separated but together. But like he always does with his blow-ups, he decides that because things not going his way in one day, he's going to take the vehicle, the only vehicle that we have, burn off for hours, and then behind closed doors make whatever plans he made and left. It was days I hadn't heard from him, did not know where he was at.
Did you kick
All
him
of a
out?
sudden, I'm in Georgia.
So basically, what
For
I'm supposed to do
reason
is
are
sit
you
around,
in Georgia?
have someone talk to
When
me.
you
crazy.
have a
treat me like
toddler
whatever you want
son.
to
One
treat
at
me.
a time, please.
Okay.
You have a toddler son, and I also have 2 other kids. And I'm here at home trying to run a business as well. Where are you? On vacation from your problems? Really?
Mrs. Holmes, I understand that because you are convinced that he has been either cheating or being passively aggressive, showing.
I'm sorry, y'all. Listen, I try to be as non-biased as I possibly can. I really do. I try to be as non-biased, and everybody have to fight their biases. Even Judge Starr have to fight her biases. Sometimes I see her bias towards women. It just is what it is. Everybody fights their biases. I'm fighting my biases. I just see this woman not being very reasonable when she gets upset. I just see her being very disrespectful when she gets angry and upset. And she will double complain about stuff. It'll get to a point where a man will feel like nothing he do is right or good enough. You call me all kind of names, you disrespect me, you kick me out of the house, and then you come to court and complain that I was gone. It's just, again, I'm trying to be non-biased. I love everybody, okay? But when I see this, this happen, and like I'm looking at her demeanor right now in court, it's as if you can't talk to this woman. You can't reason with her. She has her mind made up. That's why I'm still suspicious if she's seeing somebody else right now. But looking at her demeanor, it doesn't look like she is a reasonable woman at all, a reasonable person. He talks about her having postpartum depression or whatever. I just think she always had an attitude. And he said she always had an attitude. You can't really blame everything on postpartum. I'm not saying that she don't have postpartum. But even if she does have postpartum, you can't reason with her. You can't even talk to her. She's the type, when she got her mind made up, she got her mind made up. And I don't like to be in relationships like that where you are not even, I can't even talk to you. And I'm not going to be disrespected. I'm not going to be disrespected. So, if I'm not going to be disrespected and I can't reason with you, this ain't going to work. It's as simple as that. Marriage or not. Anyway, let's go back in.
Showing you that
Yes.
he's cheating.
He have a coworker. I had a coworker he disrespected me with another woman.
Talk about
One
it.
night, another night, he decided not to come home. I mysteriously get an unknown phone call.
Yeah, because
I
she
called
plays
the
with
number
phones.
back.
As I say, every time I look up,
It's
she
this
does
young
weird
lady.
stuff with telephones.
Of course, I call him.
Man.
I'm upset. He tells me once again, I don't know what's going on. I don't know how this has
Mrs.
happened.
Holmes, how did she get your number?
I have no idea how she got my number.
And I did go off on her because I'm on the phone trying
You
to
go
talk
off
to you,
on me because
and
I'm
what
upset.
she tells me is, oh, y'all must got
'Cause you're
something
in
going
the
on. Y'all
wrong.
look good. So I said, man, F you and her. Because I don't know why she calling my phone or trying to get in touch with me or even how she got your number and you trying to accuse me of doing something with her and I'm not at all. Never have I ever been. So
So it's all a
shouldn't have cussed her out,
mystery.
but I cussed both of them. I said, man,
Because you're
F you and her.
disrespectful.
Okay, I have no idea why this level of disrespect is happening in a marriage that's only been
Right.
in existence for a year and a half. So you say that he's a cheater. I'm not sure if Mr. Holmes is cheating. I know that there's a level of disrespect on both people's part. I have never called my husband out of his name. He has never called me out of mine.
Yeah,
Robert, you've been married for 20-some-odd years.
Yeah, man, that's a hard tip. My uncle and aunt, I was just with him in Kansas City. We married 45 years, told me they never said a cuss word to each other.
So why? I don't even understand why there's this level of
It's-
toxicity between the two of you.
I can be honest with you.
I
It's
have
the life
no
that I lived
idea.
before I met her and the life she lived before me. It's just what has become. It is not good. It is
What has
due to
become
life
is that
we've
instead of
lived
my
before we
husband
met each
coming
other.
to
And
talk
See,
to
why is
me,
she
Chris.
why is she
Honest
able
truth.
to interrupt
Mr.
him
McCall.
and he can't talk? She get her testimony out quick, clear, but he can't talk. She talking over him and stuff. You know, I don't really like that. But let's go in.
What is your relationship with the litigants before me?
Marquisha McCall Holmes is my daughter.
Do you think that this marriage has an opportunity to actually be improved?
I feel it can work only if they listen to one another.
Do you even
Not
like
right.
each other?
you know-
Step up. Give
Right.
me 1 minute. I'm talking to her. I'm gonna come to you.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you like him?
I actually love him.
Nope. I'm not talking about love. I said like.
I do like him.
What do you like about him?
I like, from the moment I met Chris, he's always been represented to me as my Superman. And I've been telling him, I just want my Superman back.
I want to know what specifically do you like. I'm gonna give you an example.
Okay.
I like that I don't have to worry about a thing when it comes to my husband. I like his smile. I like the way he walks in a room. I like the funny little stuff that he does with his hair. Those are the things I like
Yes.
about him. He's my friend.
Yes.
What do you like about your husband?
At this point, I'm disgusted with my husband.
Exactly, man. You see what I'm saying?
So,
Mr. Holmes,
What I,
do you like your wife?
I do like her. Many times, I do not like her. Because of-
What do you like about your wife?
Well, number one thing is I like her toes, and that does a lot for me. It may sound weird, but that's it. But she's funny, she's fun. We really can do everything together. I found somebody who I can do every single thing from day to day with. I don't need another person to live my life with. I like that. It's hard to find that. I do like that about her. I can talk to her about anything, sad, happy, any single thing. Since the day we met,
Brother got a foot fetish. That's interesting. He like everything about her. He can do everything with her, except have a conversation. It looked like, except talk things out, which is probably the most important thing. Let's go.
we've been able to have conversations about anything. That's what I like.
Did you hear what he just said?
yes, and I agree with him.
He gave, but Mrs. Holmes, Mr. Holmes can be verbose. He can be a little aggressive, but
aggressive.
But he could answer that question without hesitation.
And I'm so happy that he can, because that must mean to me that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do.
No, what that means is he still has regard for you. I didn't hear you have the same level of regard for him. This is where we're getting to the core of the issue. I understand that you brought a witness that will speak to me about this relationship.
Yes.
I understand that we have the witness available to call in at this time. Miss Sharon McCall, are you available?
Yes, ma'am.
Miss McCall, I'm going to ask you, what is your relationship with the litigants before me?
Yes, Christopher Holmes is my son-in-law. Marquisha McCall Holmes is my daughter.
From a mother's perspective, why do you think it has gone downhill so quickly? Because they've only been married about 18 months.
Chris has a attitude and the way I guess sometimes he talks to her very displeasing to me and others, and I just don't agree with it.
I understand that both of these litigants speak to each other in what I can only say is an extremely disrespectful manner. Why do you think that is occurring?
Because they're not allowing each other to hear one another. I feel like they're ignoring each other, and the screaming and hollering and the shouting that's not going to work. It's not.
Do you think that this marriage has an opportunity to actually be improved, that they should stay together?
Yes, ma'am. In conclusion of everything, I feel like they need counseling because I feel it can work only if they listen to each one another, you know.
I
They don't
appreciate
need to
your
listen to
insight. I really do appreciate your insight. Thank you very much.
I would like to know where the pain is coming from, because she's saying she want her Superman back, and I understand that, but where's all this pain coming from? It ain't clear that he's stepped out on her. It's not from what I've seen. It's not, nothing is clear as to what the real problem is other than their communication. She seemed to have she don't hold him in high regard, just like Judge Starr said, and he seemed to hold her in high regard, even her toes. I mean, that's his thing, you know. But my whole thing is, where is this? Is she afraid of losing him? I think she might be afraid of losing this guy, and whatever he's doing to make her insecure is making her lash out in a fearful way and making her very disrespectful. I can see him able to listen to her. It's hard for me to see her listening to him because she likes to talk over him when he talks. I'm sure when the judge is not there, she's talking all over his sentences. I'm not saying it's all her fault either. I mean, you know, he could handle things better too. He could be a little bit more empathetic. He could maybe just let her talk it out and get it off her chest and listen a little bit more. But they do need counseling. I think it's actually savable. I think that they should go seek therapy and work this out, especially since they got a child in the mix. So I would like to see them stay together and work it out. Look, if you are with someone and you say, I don't need nothing else from another person, I got everything I want in this one person, you should be fighting for that. You shouldn't be in divorce court. For real. Let's go back in. Well, that's a good sign. They're holding hands. Yeah, that's a good sign. Listen, work this out. Go get some counseling. I'm not going to say what Judge Starr said at the end. I'm not going to show that because you can check the episode out on their channel for her comments at the end. But I think that it's workable. I think that she really has this wall up, and I think that he needs to work on understanding his woman a little bit better. And, you know, for the sake of the family, man, work this out. For the sake of the family, work this out. Find a way to make it work. All that being said, hit the like, share, and subscribe. I will catch you in the next one. Peace.